You know those moments in life when you feel overwhelmed with decisions, doubts, and endless thoughts? We've all been there, right? But what if I told you that the secret to unlocking your greatest potential, to finding peace and success, lies in not thinking too much? Yes, you heard that right. Stop overthinking. It's not about ignoring your feelings or the situations in your life. It's about realizing that sometimes the power to move forward lies in just acting and being present. Trust me, it's a game changer. Every time we overthink, we create a storm in our minds. It's like standing under a downpour of thoughts, each raindrop representing a doubt, a question, a worry. This constant barrage of mental noise can feel overwhelming, like you're drowning in your own thoughts. And the more you try to clear your mind, the more the storm intensifies. But here's the truth we all need to hear. Overthinking, it doesn't lead to clarity, it only creates chaos. Consider this. Have you ever found yourself replaying the same scenario over and over in your head? Maybe it's a conversation you had with a friend or a mistake you made at work. You keep asking yourself, what if I had said this? Or what if I had done that? You become trapped in a loop of endless possibilities, trying to figure out a way to change the past. But here's the thing, you can't change the past. All this overthinking does is steal your energy and peace in the present moment. This is the danger of overthinking. It pulls you away from reality. It keeps you stuck in a place where you're no longer moving forward. You're not solving problems. You're merely spinning in circles, waiting for an answer that doesn't come. It's like trying to drive a car while your foot is constantly pressing the brakes. The car can never move forward as long as you're afraid to take your foot off the brake. Overthinking is the brake. It holds you back, keeps you in place, and prevents you from moving toward the life you deserve. Think about the times when you've had to make a decision, whether it's about a new job, a relationship, or a change in your personal life. How many times have you found yourself paralyzed by too many options, too many what-ifs? Overthinking leads to indecision. You keep asking yourself, what if I make the wrong choice? The fear of failure, the fear of making a mistake stops you from taking action. But here's the thing, if you never make a choice, you're choosing nothing. And nothing leads to stagnation. Sometimes the only way to move forward is to trust yourself and make a decision, even if it's imperfect. It's the only way to break free from the endless cycle of overthinking. Let me give you an example. Imagine a woman named Sarah. She's been working in the same job for years, and while it pays the bills, she knows it's not her passion. She's always dreamed of starting her own business, but every time she thinks about taking the leap, she starts to overthink. What if I fail? What if no one buys my product? What if I'm not cut out for this? These thoughts cloud her mind, and as a result, she never makes a move. Sarah spends her days in a constant state of worry, never taking action because she's paralyzed by the fear of what might happen. Over time, she becomes resentful of her job and frustrated with herself for not taking action. She's stuck in a mental prison built by overthinking. Now imagine if Sarah had stopped overthinking and just acted. What if, instead of endlessly worrying about the future, she took one small step toward her dream? Maybe she started by researching the market or creating a business plan. The key is that she would have been moving forward, not sitting stagnant, waiting for the perfect moment to act. But overthinking stops us from even getting started. We think we need to have all the answers before we take the first step. But the truth is, the answers come when you start moving. The universe rewards action, not hesitation. Overthinking also takes a toll on your mental health. It creates anxiety, stress, and sleepless nights. You start to feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders because your mind never rests. Thoughts swirl around, demanding your attention, and you end up feeling drained and exhausted, not because of physical activity, but because your mind is in overdrive. Imagine trying to carry a heavy backpack all day long. It's exhausting, right? But what if you could take that backpack off and let your body relax? That's what happens when you stop overthinking. You lighten the load, and your mind can finally rest. Here's another powerful truth. Overthinking makes us miss out on the beauty of the present moment. When you're stuck in your head, obsessing over what could have been or what might be, you miss out on what's happening right now. You miss the laughter of your friends, the beauty of the sunset, or the joy of a simple moment of connection with a loved one. Life is happening in front of you, but you're too busy looking back or worrying about the future to notice. You're not living fully because your mind is elsewhere. Overthinking can also destroy relationships. How many times have you overthought a text message or a phone call from someone? You start reading between the lines, analyzing every word and creating scenarios in your head. What did they mean by that? Why didn't they reply sooner? Maybe they're mad at me. This mental spiral can make you feel insecure, anxious, and distant. But in reality, the other person may not even be thinking about it. They're just living their life while you're trapped in your own mind, creating problems that don't exist. I want you to understand something. Overthinking steals your power. It robs you of your ability to act confidently, to enjoy the moment, and to trust yourself. The longer you stay in this cycle, the more it controls you. But the good news is you can break free. You can choose to stop overthinking and start living. It takes practice, but it's worth it. You are worthy of peace, of clarity, and of action. It's time to silence the storm in your mind and take control of your life. The power to move forward is in your hands. Don't let overthinking hold you back any longer. Your mind is a powerful tool. It's the compass that guides your every move, the engine behind every action, and the source of your greatest potential. But so often we see our mind as the enemy. We fear it, try to control it, and even run away from it. We think it's working against us, filling us with doubts, fears, and insecurities. But here's the truth. Your mind is not your enemy, it's your ally. It's time we stop fighting it and start learning how to work with it. Think about the times you've felt overwhelmed by your thoughts. You've had that constant stream of worries, doubts, and endless what-ifs that make you feel like you're losing control. It's easy to think that your mind is your enemy when it keeps bombarding you with negative thoughts. You wonder, why am I like this? Why can't I just feel at peace? But what if I told you that those thoughts, as chaotic as they might seem, are not your enemy? They're simply signs that your mind is trying to tell you something. Your mind is reacting to the world around you, to your experiences, and to your inner world. But it's not out to get you, it's out to protect you, to help you survive and thrive. Consider the way we approach fear. When something triggers fear inside us, our minds go into overdrive, imagining all the worst-case scenarios. Our hearts race, our palms sweat, and we feel paralyzed. Fear in this moment feels like the enemy, but fear is not a villain. It's a signal. It's your mind's way of telling you that something matters, that something requires your attention. Fear is a natural response, a protective mechanism. It tells you that you're about to step outside your comfort zone. And while that might feel uncomfortable, it's where growth happens. Without fear, you wouldn't take the necessary steps to challenge yourself. You wouldn't face the unknown and you wouldn't push past your limits. Fear, when understood, becomes your ally, not your enemy. Let's take a moment to think about one of the most powerful ways our mind works against us. Self-doubt. How many times have you stood in front of a mirror, questioning your worth, wondering if you're good enough? Your mind starts to tell you you're not capable, you're not smart enough, you'll never make it. It feels like your mind is your enemy in that moment, doesn't it? But if you pause and listen, you'll realize that those voices of self-doubt are not coming from a place of truth. They're coming from past experiences, from societal conditioning, or from comparisons to others. Your mind has absorbed these messages over the years and it's simply repeating them. But here's the key. Those thoughts are not your truth. Your truth is that you are worthy. You are enough. You are capable of more than you could ever imagine. The mind may try to convince you otherwise, but if you stop listening to those negative voices and start listening to your own inner wisdom, you'll see that your mind is not the enemy, it's just confused. It needs your guidance to get back on track. Now let's think about your inner critic. The voice that tells you you're not doing enough, that you're not achieving enough, that you're not enough. It's easy to see this voice as the enemy, especially when it's relentless, constantly putting you down. But the truth is, this inner critic is not an enemy. It's a byproduct of your desire for growth. It's pushing you to do better, to reach higher, to achieve more. But if you give it too much power, if you let it control your every move, it can become toxic. The key is to learn how to manage it. Acknowledge it, but don't let it dictate your actions. Recognize that your mind is trying to protect you from failure, but sometimes that protection becomes a cage. It's up to you to break free from that cage and allow yourself to take risks, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. Think about the times when you've been faced with a difficult decision. You've been at a crossroads, unsure of which path to take. Your mind fills with conflicting thoughts. What if I fail? What if I regret this? What if I make the wrong choice? It's easy to feel paralyzed by indecision, but that's because your mind is working overtime, trying to find the perfect answer. But here's the truth. There is no perfect answer. There is no perfect path. Life is messy, unpredictable, and beautiful precisely because it's not perfect. Your mind may be trying to protect you from making a mistake, but mistakes are not failures. They're learning experiences. The more you trust yourself, the more you learn how to navigate the uncertainty of life with confidence. Let me give you an example. Think about the first time you learned how to ride a bike. Do you remember how your mind filled with doubts? What if I fall? What if I can't balance? But despite those thoughts, you got on that bike. You pedaled, and eventually you found your balance. Your mind told you to be cautious, to be careful, but your heart told you to keep going, to keep trying. You didn't let the fear in your mind stop you. You trusted yourself and your ability to learn, to grow, and to succeed. Your mind wasn't the enemy, it was simply trying to keep you safe. But your ability to push past that fear, to trust in your own potential, made all the difference. When you start to realize that your mind is not your enemy, you begin to see it for what it truly is. A powerful tool that can be used for growth, healing, and success. But like any tool, it needs to be managed, directed, and understood. The key is not to fight your mind, but to learn how to work with it. Your mind is not trying to sabotage you. It's simply trying to keep you safe. But if you let it run unchecked, it can keep you from living the life you're meant to live. The power is in your hands to guide it, to train it, and to use it to create the life you truly desire. Trusting the process is one of the most powerful acts of faith you can give to yourself and your journey. It's the belief that even when things don't make sense, even when the path ahead seems uncertain, the pieces are falling into place exactly as they should. Too often we want immediate results, immediate answers, immediate gratification. But life doesn't work that way. Growth, success, healing, and transformation take time. They happen in their own rhythm, their own pace. And the only way to truly embrace the beauty of that journey is by trusting the process. Think about a time in your life when you faced something difficult, when you felt completely lost, unsure of where you were headed. Perhaps it was a job change, a tough breakup, or a health struggle. During those times, it's easy to think that you're stuck, that things aren't moving forward. You wonder, why is this happening to me? You start to doubt everything, your decisions, your choices, your future. But what if that struggle, that period of uncertainty is exactly where you need to be? What if, just like a seed in the soil, you are being nurtured in ways that you can't yet see? Take a look at the journey of a caterpillar. It crawls slowly and steadily, inching its way through its world, but then it enters a cocoon, a period of complete darkness and isolation. On the surface, it looks like nothing is happening. The caterpillar is still in a small confined space. But inside, something beautiful is unfolding. The transformation, the growth, the beauty all happen in silence, in a space of patience and trust. It's a reminder that even when you feel stuck, even when you feel like nothing is changing, trust that something is happening on the inside. Think about a person who has worked hard to achieve something they've always dreamed of. Maybe it's a business, a career, or even personal growth. You see them in their success, but what you don't see is the process that got them there. You don't see the sleepless nights, the failures, the struggles, the moments of doubt, or the setbacks. What you see is the result, the finished product. But what made that result possible was an unwavering trust in the process. They didn't give up when it got tough. They didn't give in when things didn't go according to plan. They trusted that their hard work, their patience, and their persistence would pay off. And that is the kind of trust you need to develop in your own life. One of the most powerful examples of trusting the process comes from the world of athletes. Consider someone like Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players in history. He didn't become a legend overnight. In fact, he was cut from his high school basketball team, a devastating blow that could have crushed his confidence and his dreams. But instead of giving up, he trusted the process. He put in hours of practice day after day, knowing that every failure, every setback was an opportunity for growth. His trust in his journey is what made him who he is today, a testament to the power of persistence and faith in the process. And what Jordan did with his talent, you can do with yours. In our daily lives, we often expect instant results. We want to see quick progress, whether it's in our fitness goals, our career paths, or in our personal development. But the truth is, progress takes time. It's the consistent effort, the small steps, the daily habits that eventually lead to big changes. Think about someone who starts a new workout routine. At first, it feels like nothing is happening. You might not see physical changes right away, but if you stick with it, if you trust the process, you begin to notice small improvements. More energy, increased strength, better mood. Over time, those small changes compound, and before you know it, you've transformed your body and your health. That's the power of trusting the process. You may not see the results immediately, but if you keep going, they'll come. The same goes for personal growth. We all go through difficult seasons in life, where it feels like nothing is moving forward. We struggle, we fail, and we experience pain. But each of those challenges, each of those moments, is part of the process of becoming who we are meant to be. There is no straight path to success or happiness. Life is messy, filled with twists, turns, and unexpected detours. And in the midst of those challenges, we are learning, evolving, and growing into stronger versions of ourselves. Trusting the process means allowing yourself to experience those ups and downs without giving up, without losing hope. It means believing that the setbacks are not the end, they are the beginning of something greater. Consider the journey of someone starting a new business. The first few months or even years are tough. They face rejection, struggle with financial instability, and doubt themselves. But they trust the process. They know that success doesn't come overnight. They believe that if they continue to work hard, to learn from their mistakes, and to adapt, they will eventually break through. They keep showing up every single day, even when it feels like nothing is happening. And eventually, the pieces fall into place. Customers start to come in. The product gains recognition, and the business begins to thrive. It didn't happen because of a miracle. It happened because the person trusted the process. Trusting the process is about letting go of the need to control everything. It's about surrendering to the journey, trusting that the universe, God, or whatever higher power you believe in has a plan for you. It's about understanding that you can't rush the timing of your life. Things will happen when they're meant to happen, not when you want them to. And the more you try to control everything, the more frustrated you'll become. Trusting the process is a reminder that everything is unfolding in divine timing. Your only job is to keep moving forward, keep taking action, and keep believing that it's all happening for your highest good. Life will never be a straight line. There will be highs and lows, victories and defeats, moments of clarity and moments of confusion. But through it all, the key is to trust the process. Trust that every step, every twist, every turn is leading you exactly where you need to go. Your journey may not look like you imagined, but it will be exactly what you need to experience in order to become the person you are meant to be. So, let go of the need to control the outcome and embrace the beauty of trusting the process. Because everything you desire is coming to you in the perfect time, in the perfect way. You just have to trust that it's already on its way. Letting go of fear is one of the most liberating and transformative things you can do in your life. Fear is a natural part of the human experience. It's the emotion that keeps us alert, cautious, and in many ways safe. But when fear starts to control us, when it holds us back from stepping into our full potential, that's when it becomes a barrier. Letting go of fear isn't about denying its existence. It's about recognizing its grip on you and deciding that you are stronger than it. It's about trusting that you are capable of handling whatever life throws at you, even when it seems impossible. Think about the last time you felt paralyzed by fear. Maybe it was the fear of failure that kept you from taking that next step in your career, or the fear of judgment that prevented you from speaking your truth. Maybe it was the fear of the unknown that stopped you from pursuing a new relationship or moving to a new city. Whatever it was, fear likely made you feel small, insecure, and trapped. But fear is not your enemy. It's a signal. It's telling you that you're about to face something important, something that matters to you. And the key is to understand that fear doesn't need to control your actions. You are not meant to live your life in a constant state of fear, but in a state of courage and possibility. Let's look at a simple example. The first time you learned to ride a bike. I'm sure at some point you were terrified. The thought of falling, of losing balance was enough to make you hesitate. But despite that fear, you kept going. You trusted yourself, you trusted the process, and you trusted that you could handle the challenge. With each attempt, you became stronger, more confident, and eventually fear no longer held you back. You got on that bike and you rode. And in that moment, you realized that fear wasn't something to run from. It was something to move through. When you face your fears, you take away their power over you. Fear doesn't always look like a big, obvious monster. Sometimes it's subtle. It's the quiet voice in your head that says, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? It's the fear of not being accepted, of not being loved, of not being enough. But here's the truth. Fear is often a reflection of your own self-doubt. When you doubt your abilities, when you doubt your worth, fear fills the space. It tells you that you can't achieve what you want, that you don't deserve success, and that you should play it safe. But the more you listen to that voice, the more you allow fear to make decisions for you. The key is not to fight the fear, but to recognize that it's only a story your mind is telling you. It's not the truth. Take a moment to reflect on the people in your life who inspire you. Do you think they've never felt fear? Of course not. They felt it too. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that they don't let fear stop them. They feel the fear, they acknowledge it, but they don't let it dictate their action. Think about the famous stories of entrepreneurs, artists, and leaders who faced massive obstacles, doubts, and fears. Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, Maya Angelou, they all experienced fear, but they didn't let it hold them back. They took risks, they stepped into the unknown, and they followed their passion despite the fear. They trusted that no matter what happened, they would learn, they would grow, and they would be okay. And that's the mindset that allowed them to achieve greatness. Letting go of fear doesn't mean you stop being cautious. It means you stop letting fear paralyze you. It means you stop waiting for everything to be perfect, for all the lights to turn green before you take action. It means you trust yourself enough to know that you can handle whatever comes your way. It's about understanding that life is not about avoiding fear, but about moving forward in spite of it. Fear will always be there, but it doesn't have to control you. You have the power to take the wheel and steer your life in the direction you want it to go. Let's think about fear in terms of making big life changes. Perhaps you're thinking of leaving a job that doesn't fulfill you, or perhaps you're considering a big move, like moving to a new city or starting a new business. The fear of the unknown can be overwhelming. You worry about making the wrong choice, about the uncertainty of the future, about what others will think. But here's the thing, uncertainty is a part of life. It's the birthplace of opportunity, growth, and new beginnings. If you constantly let fear of the unknown stop you, you will remain stuck in the same place, never moving forward. But if you choose to move forward, even in the face of fear, you'll open yourself up to new possibilities you never imagined. The truth is, fear is often a sign that you're growing, that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, that you're ready for something more. It's easy to stay where it feels safe and familiar, but that's not where your dreams are waiting for you. Your dreams, your potential are on the other side of fear. When you choose to let go of fear, you choose to take control of your life. You choose to trust that you are capable of more than you think, that you have the resilience to handle whatever comes your way. Think about a time when you took a risk, no matter how big or small, and it paid off. Maybe it was taking the first step in a new relationship, launching a project you were passionate about, or standing up for yourself when you were scared to. In those moments, you let go of fear and trusted in yourself. You showed up for yourself, even when you were uncertain, and it made all the difference. That's what happens when you let go of fear. You begin to trust that you are enough, that you are worthy of success, and that you have the strength to face whatever challenges come your way. Fear is not a roadblock, it's a stepping stone. Every time you face it, you grow. Every time you push past it, you become stronger. Letting go of fear doesn't mean you'll never feel it again. It means that when fear rises, you will no longer let it control you. Instead, you'll use it as fuel to propel you forward, knowing that you are capable of handling whatever comes next. It's time to stop letting fear dictate your life. It's time to let go of the power fear has over you and embrace the courage, the strength, and the possibilities that lie on the other side. When you learn to let go of overthinking, decision-making becomes easier. Life is full of choices, from the smallest ones, what to wear, what to eat, where to go, to the biggest ones, who to marry, which career path to take, what to stand for. We are constantly faced with decisions that have the potential to shape our future. And yet, one of the things that holds most of us back from making the right choices is the fear of making the wrong one. The fear of regret, the fear of failure, the fear of what others might think. But let me tell you something, the more you overthink, the harder it is to move forward. The more you analyze every possible outcome, the more paralyzed you become by the sheer weight of the decision. This is where letting go of overthinking becomes your greatest ally. Imagine a time when you were stuck in the middle of making a decision. Maybe it was choosing a job offer, deciding whether to end a relationship, or even whether to take a leap of faith in your personal or professional life. The more you thought about it, the more confused you became. You weighed every single option, thought of every possible outcome, and in the process made yourself so unsure that you couldn't move. That's the trap of overthinking. It clouds your judgment and makes even the simplest decisions feel like life or death choices. But when you release the need to control every possible scenario, decision-making becomes not just easier, but also more empowering. Let's take an everyday example. Have you ever had to decide what to eat for lunch? It seems like such a simple decision, but sometimes we find ourselves stuck in an endless loop of, should I eat this or that? What if I regret my choice later? You stand in front of the menu or your fridge, unsure of what you really want until you become overwhelmed and frustrated. The more time you spend thinking about it, the harder it becomes to choose. But here's the reality. It doesn't matter what you eat. The truth is, if you stop overthinking and simply choose something, the decision is already made and you can move on with your life. The longer you hesitate, the more time you waste and the more energy you drain. In the grand scheme of things, that decision doesn't hold any real weight. But if you practice making choices in moments like these, it becomes easier to apply that same confidence to bigger, more impactful decisions in your life. It's the same with major life decisions. Think about the last time you were making a big choice, like whether to take a new job or move to a new city. The possibilities are endless and fear starts creeping in. What if it's not the right decision? What if I fail? What if I'm unhappy? These thoughts can keep you stuck in indecision, often for days, weeks, or even months. The truth is, no one has a crystal ball. No one can predict the future with absolute certainty. But you have the power to decide and act. And when you trust your instincts and stop overthinking, you're not just making a decision, you're claiming your power and embracing the unknown. Take a moment to think about those times in your life when you made decisions quickly without overthinking them. Maybe it was starting a new hobby, trying something new, or meeting new people. In those moments, you didn't waste time analyzing every possible outcome. You simply trusted your intuition and went for it. That sense of ease that came with those decisions is a result of letting go of the pressure of perfection, of not needing everything to be perfect before you acted. And guess what? Those decisions often turned out better than expected, and they created new opportunities in your life that you couldn't have imagined if you had spent time second-guessing yourself. Think about a time when you were faced with a life-changing decision, like whether to leave a toxic relationship. The longer you stayed in that situation, the more you felt the weight of indecision. You overthought every aspect of the relationship. What would happen if you left? What would life be like on your own? Would you be able to handle it? All these thoughts piled up until you felt overwhelmed by the decision. But then, when you finally let go of the need to have everything figured out, when you trusted your intuition and chose to walk away, it was like a weight lifted off your shoulders. Your decision was clear, and you moved forward with a renewed sense of strength and clarity. The fear and uncertainty were still there, but you stopped letting them control your life. The same goes for career decisions. Many people stay in jobs they hate because they are too afraid to make a change. They overthink the process. Will I be able to find a better job? What if I fail at the new one? What if I regret it? The truth is, staying in a job that drains you and makes you miserable is more harmful in the long run than taking a risk and trying something new. When you let go of overthinking and make a choice based on your values and desires, you unlock doors to new opportunities. You might find yourself in a job that challenges you, that inspires you, that makes you grow in ways you never expected. When we allow ourselves to overthink, we stop trusting ourselves and our abilities. We give power to our fears, to our doubts, and to our need for certainty. But when we let go of that need for absolute certainty, when we stop searching for the perfect answer, we open ourselves up to the possibilities that come with living fully. Life isn't about finding the right answer every time. It's about learning, evolving, and trusting the journey. Making decisions is about trusting that no matter what the outcome, you have the strength and resilience to handle it. It's about knowing that even if things don't go as planned, you'll learn from it and you'll keep moving forward. The more you practice this, the easier decision making becomes. You'll stop wasting time second-guessing yourself and start moving forward with confidence. You'll stop looking for approval from others and start trusting your own voice. So the next time you're faced with a big decision, whether it's about your career, your relationship, or your future, remember that the power is in your hands. You don't need to overthink it. You don't need to analyze every single possibility. Just take a deep breath, trust your instincts, and make the decision. You'll be surprised by how much easier it becomes when you trust yourself to make the right choice. The ability to be present in the moment is perhaps one of the most powerful skills you can develop in life. It is so easy to get caught up in the past or the future, to think about what went wrong yesterday or to worry about what might go wrong tomorrow. But in doing so, we miss the beauty and the power of the present moment. The present is where life happens, where opportunities arise, and where we truly connect with ourselves and others. Yet so many of us overlook it. We are constantly looking for the next best thing, the next achievement, the next destination, believing that happiness will always be somewhere else, somewhere in the future. But when we focus on the moment at hand, when we are truly present, we unlock a power within ourselves that we never knew existed. Take, for instance, a simple conversation. Think about the last time you had a meaningful conversation with someone, whether it was with a friend, family member, or colleague. How often were you actually present during that conversation? Were you really listening, or were you thinking about what to say next? Were you distracted by your phone, your thoughts, or what you had to do later? When we fail to be present, we miss out on the connection. We miss the opportunity to truly understand the other person and to be understood. Being present means being fully engaged with the person in front of you, listening to their words, feeling their emotions, and truly connecting with them in that moment. This is where deep, meaningful relationships are built. Not in the past, not in the future, but right here, right now. Being present is not just important in our relationships, it is essential in our work and in our personal growth. How often have you found yourself distracted during a meeting or when working on a project, thinking about something else or worrying about the outcome? We all know that this leads to mistakes, missed opportunities, and unnecessary stress. When we are not fully focused on the task at hand, we are not giving it our full potential. We are only operating at half capacity. But when we are truly present in our work, we are able to perform at our best, to bring our creativity and energy to the task, and to achieve results that are far greater than we would otherwise. The power of presence is in the results we create and the energy we put into our work. Now, think about the last time you were doing something you truly loved, whether it was playing a sport, painting, cooking, or simply walking in nature. In those moments, you were fully immersed in the activity, and time seemed to stand still. You weren't worrying about what happened before or what might happen next. You were completely absorbed in the experience. This is the magic of being present. When we do what we love, when we focus entirely on the task at hand, we experience a sense of joy and fulfillment that is unlike anything else. It's as if the universe aligns with our energy and everything flows effortlessly. This is what happens when we choose to live in the moment. We unlock the full potential of our being, and in turn we create experiences that are rich with meaning and purpose. Being present also means being aware of your emotions. How often do we let our feelings overwhelm us? We get angry, upset, or frustrated, and before we know it, we are caught in an emotional cycle that drags us down. But when we choose to be present with our emotions, we stop letting them control us. We acknowledge them, we feel them, and we let them pass. We don't deny our feelings, but we don't let them dictate our behavior either. This is a powerful practice of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. When we are present with our emotions, we gain clarity, we find peace, and we can move forward without being held back by past emotional baggage. In everyday life, the benefits of being present are endless. Take, for example, a simple moment of stillness, like sitting in a park, drinking a cup of coffee, or even just watching the sunset. When we are present, we notice the beauty in these small moments. We see the colors in the sky, hear the sounds around us, and feel the breeze on our skin. These simple moments of presence have the power to rejuvenate us, to remind us that life is not just about the big achievements or future goals. Life is made up of these moments, and they are precious. When we allow ourselves to fully experience them, we invite peace, gratitude, and fulfillment into our lives. Being present is not just a practice, it's a mindset. It's about making the conscious choice to show up for your life, to be here right now, and to fully embrace whatever is happening in the present moment. When we choose to be present, we stop living in the past or the future, and we start living in the now. We stop worrying about what could go wrong and start focusing on what is going right. We stop wishing for something better and start appreciating what we have. This shift in mindset is not just about feeling good in the moment. It's about transforming our entire experience of life. In the end, it all comes down to this. Life is happening right now. If we are too busy looking elsewhere, at the past, at the future, at what we don't have or what we think we should have, we miss out on the richness of the present moment. We miss out on the beauty, the joy, the connection, and the opportunity that is right in front of us. So the next time you find yourself caught up in worry, distraction, or regret, take a deep breath and bring yourself back to the moment. Remind yourself that this moment right here is all you have, and it is enough. When you embrace the power of the present, you will find that life becomes more vibrant, more meaningful, and more full of possibility than you ever imagined. There is a profound truth that many people overlook. Nothing happens in life until you take action. You can dream, plan, and visualize all you want, but until you take that first step, nothing will move forward. The power of action is the catalyst that turns thoughts into reality, dreams into achievements, and intentions into accomplishments. Without it, even the greatest ideas, the most well-thought-out plans, and the most brilliant visions remain just that. Ideas, plans, and visions, nothing more. But when you take action, you initiate a force that moves everything in your favor. Look at any successful person, any entrepreneur, any leader, any athlete, and you'll find one common denominator. They took action. It doesn't matter what field they are in or what their background is. They made a choice to take action, no matter how daunting the task seemed. Think about Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. He didn't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. He didn't let fear of failure stop him from pursuing his vision. He acted on his ideas, and by doing so, he created one of the most influential companies in the world. His success was not a result of thinking about what could happen, but of relentlessly pursuing what he believed in through action. The power of action is not just about achieving monumental success, though. It's about creating change, no matter how big or small in your life. Think about the person who wakes up every morning and decides to work out. They may not feel like it, they may not have the energy, but they get up, put on their shoes, and take that first step out the door. The results don't happen overnight, but the act of showing up every day, of taking action, regardless of how they feel, compounds into something significant over time. It's the small actions, repeated consistently, that lead to the transformation. Every time they step outside, every time they push themselves through another set of reps, they are reinforcing their commitment to their health, to their goals, and to themselves. The power of action in this scenario is simple yet transformative. Similarly, think about a writer who sits down every day to write. Even when they don't feel inspired, they write a few pages or sometimes just a few words, but they don't stop. They take action, regardless of how difficult or uninspiring it may seem in the moment. This consistent effort, fueled by action, leads to the completion of a book. The creation of something meaningful, something that has the potential to change lives. It's the same for any creative endeavor. Painting, dancing, designing, creating. Without action, those dreams and ideas never take form. The power of action is about overcoming inertia. In life, we often get stuck in a state of waiting. We wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances. But here's the truth. There is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. The perfect opportunity is the one you create by taking action. So many people sit and wait for things to align in their favor, thinking that once everything is perfect, they'll take action. But this mindset is what keeps them trapped. It's the action you take now, regardless of your circumstances, that shapes your future. It's the act of getting started, even when you don't have all the answers, that leads you to the solutions you need. Take, for example, someone who wants to change careers. They know deep down they're not happy in their current job. But the thought of making a change is terrifying. They worry about the risks, the unknowns, and the potential for failure. But every day they stay in that job is another day they are not moving forward. Every day they choose inaction is another day they lose the chance to pursue something more fulfilling. Action doesn't mean having everything figured out. Action means taking the first step, even when you're not sure what the next step will be. Once you take that leap, the universe begins to align in your favor, opening doors you couldn't have imagined before. And more often than not, the path you end up on is far more rewarding than anything you could have planned for. Similarly, think about someone who wants to improve their finances. They've read the books, they've watched the videos, and they know what they need to do, but they never actually do it. They wait for the right time, but the right time never comes. What they fail to realize is that the moment they take action, they are already ahead of the game. Even a small action like setting up a budget, starting an emergency fund, or paying off a credit card is a powerful step in the right direction. The power of action lies in its ability to create momentum. Once you take that first step, it leads to the next, and soon enough, you're on a completely new path, one you could only dream of before. The power of action also lies in its ability to build confidence. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you are capable, that you can handle the challenges that come your way. This boosts your self-belief and encourages you to take even bolder steps. Think about the first time you tried something new, whether it was public speaking, learning a new skill, or even riding a bike. The first time was scary, uncertain, and uncomfortable. But once you took action, once you made the move, you grew more confident, and the fear faded. With each successive step, you became more comfortable, more competent, and more empowered. Action is also the antidote to fear. Fear often holds us back, keeping us trapped in a cycle of doubt and uncertainty. But the more you take action, the less control fear has over you. Each time you face your fears head on, you gain strength, resilience, and the knowledge that you can handle whatever life throws your way. Fear may still be there, but it no longer controls you. It's like learning how to swim. You start off with a little hesitation, but as you take action and move through the water, you realize you can float, you can swim, and soon you're gliding with ease. The power of action is about realizing that you are the creator of your own reality. You have the power to shape your life, to turn your dreams into tangible results, and to live a life that is fulfilling and meaningful. But this power is only unlocked when you take action, whether it's taking the first step, moving beyond your comfort zone, or pushing through the fear and doubt. Action is the key that unlocks the door to your potential. And once you step through that door, there's no limit to what you can achieve. As we stand here today, remember this one profound truth. The power to change your life is in your hands right now. Don't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow is built on the actions you take today. We all have dreams, aspirations, and goals we wish to reach, but the only thing separating where you are now from where you want to be is the decision to act. You don't need to wait for permission from anyone or for the perfect moment. You are the author of your own story. You are the one who gets to decide how this chapter unfolds. And if you choose action, right now, everything changes. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. These words by Winston Churchill remind us that the journey is what matters most, not just the destination. Every setback, every failure, every moment of doubt is simply a part of the process. It's not the end, it's the beginning. You don't rise by avoiding the fall, you rise by getting up every time you fall. And each time you get up, you gain a new strength. You gain the wisdom that you need to move forward. Look at the path of every successful person throughout history. They didn't wait for circumstances to be perfect. They acted with courage, even in the face of uncertainty. They understood that the secret to achieving greatness lies in the willingness to take the next step, even when the way ahead is unclear. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. It was his relentless pursuit, his refusal to quit, his commitment to take action that ultimately brought light to the world. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work, he said. This mindset is what propelled him to success, and it can propel you too. The beauty of life is that it is unpredictable, and it's exactly in those moments of uncertainty that true growth occurs. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to take risks. The risk of staying stagnant is far greater than the risk of moving forward. Every great achievement, every incredible invention, every monumental shift in the world was made by someone who decided to act. Action brings momentum, action brings clarity, action brings results, and results are what shape your future. As you walk away from this moment, remember, action is not just something you do, it's who you are. It's not about waiting for opportunities to fall into your lap. It's about creating opportunities. It's about getting up even when you're tired. It's about stepping forward even when you're afraid. It's about deciding that your dreams are worth the effort. It's about understanding that failure is not something to avoid. It's something to learn from. You will face challenges. You will face doubts. But in those moments, remember this: the only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. Your doubts are simply obstacles on the way to your greatness. Do not let them define you. Let your actions define you. Your actions will speak louder than your fears. Your actions will tell the world that you are not afraid to rise, not afraid to conquer, not afraid to succeed. Do not wait for the perfect moment, because it will never come. The perfect moment is now. The power is in your hands to make today the beginning of the rest of your life. Whether it's a big step or a small one, take it. The first step is the hardest, but it's also the most important. Once you start, the rest will follow. The journey might be long, it might be tough, but it will be worth it. And you will emerge from it stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever thought possible. So, to all of you listening right now, I challenge you, act. Don't let another day go by wondering what if. Don't let another minute pass in hesitation. Take that step, go after your dreams, break free from the chains of fear and doubt, and choose to take action. Remember, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The opportunity is here. The time is now. The power is within you. I believe in you. I believe in your strength. I believe in your ability to change your life, to change the world. But it all begins with one simple truth. You must take action. Today, not tomorrow. Make it happen. Don't wait for life to happen to you. Go out and make life happen. The world is waiting for you to show up, to step into your greatness. It's time to act, and it's time to change your life. Starting right now.